respect to the old, we keep that in. And then this is the more modern civil story. We've got the old and the new put together as our agriculture. So the old is we, Stalin and Lloyd, go forth to battle. We will fight back to back and put enough action together. And then after that was over with, when a guy would perform, and he'd do this, and he'd come forward. He'd say, I'm going to perform, and anybody else want to tell him, he'd go, well, anytime to come up and tell him. But the guy came up and came back. He said, hey, I'm humbly going to display my talents, but I'm not here for challenge. And that's why he dropped back. Did you know that? He didn't. You didn't know this? Okay, well, good, good. So now, then, what's this here? I am friendly, and I'm not. Mind, breath, and strength. Okay, then what? I'm not covering that, which is my treasure. And then what? Pray for what? Yeah, pray for forgiveness because now I have to be an animal. Okay? And then what? What does the left foot do? Why? Weak, strong. And what else does it say? Embrace all. Good, so you guys know that. Okay, so that's it. Alright, keep together. Let's do that. Let's do this salutation. And what I want is not where we're mechanicals. See? Okay? Make it like you're not embarrassed about what you're doing. Okay? Alright, let's do it. Go forward. Alright, back again. Because now I see all kinds of, all you have to do is look. My hand could go up here, or way out here and come back. I just brought it up, carried it right. See what I'm saying? Okay, and I descended. Gradually. That is, right? Move. Okay, back in. Well, that's back in. This is the first phase. Okay, slow it down. You guys are leaping into it. Don't leap into it. Gradually going there. I move. Yeah, back again. That's it. That's the timing. Back again, positions. I move. Back again. Okay. All you do is just let this hand slowly push this hand out. Okay? Go like you're jabbing and punching. Okay? Just let this hand push it out. I move. Yeah, back. Get back again. Move. Back. Okay. Now, when you come here, you come right leg in here. That's it. And you come like you split in your chest. Okay? Alright, move. Yeah, move. Yeah. You know, if you guys are going to states in here, you're going in front of judges and doing reform. Anything you look make look professional adds to the score. Okay? So it looks like you know what you're doing, you follow what you're doing, you've got every confidence in what you're doing, it sells. Okay, my positions, I move. Back. Yeah, move. Back. Okay, now, there you are. Now we'll just work the next, move open. Okay. Now, there's three things. There's 3 heights and 3 depths that we have to consider. Look at me from the flank, okay? This is a greater height, right? But look at where I'm at in terms of where I'm at from the head. Okay? The next one is at a lower level, but closer to you. So there's 3 heights and 3 depths. You understand it? So it's here, here, and here. So it's here, here, and here, see, in terms of depth. Okay? fish handling service, you just clench the fish and roll it into. Yeah, so you just roll it. Patty cake. Ah, man, I get crazy. Again, up. Roll it. Okay, now, if you let your elbows hang casually, you'll have a what? From a triangle. See? Some of you are like this, man. Looks like you're about ready to fly, you know? Now, this is a good technique. If you've gone in the States, they go deer hunting. You're familiar with deer hunting? And they don't take a bath for 2 weeks. And that's the one that kills them now. You know, we don't have to get that up. Okay, so you get one height. Next, the changes in height and depth move. And then down. See what I'm saying? So you got 3 heights, 3 depths. You get up. Change. Hang your elbow more. See, some of you still out here. You're making the look parallel. Shouldn't it? It should form a triangle. Okay? You got 1 triangle, 2 triangles, and a skinny triangle. Up, down, down, close. Okay, now the left foot hits the right foot while both hands hit. It's not, but it's all together. Foot like this. Okay? All right, stop from the beginning. Move up, back, open, up. Now let's stay together. I'm doing the complete thing without my tongue. Okay? So try to keep the pace. Okay? Go by it flows. Okay? All right, move. Yeah, much better. Much better. One more time, move. And as I pointed out previously, even the salutation that we have should be all right. I think that's fine. Okay. Horse stance. Move. How do we find the width of this particular stance? How do we find the proper width as it applies to our body?
Spread the feet.
That's one way. The other way is to get the width of your shoulders and make sure that the feet are just outside of the width of your shoulders. All right, feet together. Another way is to go heels out, toes, heels. Yeah, that's it. Feet together, heels, toes, heels. Yeah, that's another way of finding the proper stance. Okay, fine. Now, let's go back to the right foot. Boom. Okay, what are the mathematical symbols do we employ in the study of our stances in terms of obtaining the width, height, and depth? The cross or plus sign. Okay? If we can visualize a particular line going down through the center of where we stand, then the toe of the left foot should be to the left of that line, and the heel of your right foot should be to the right of the line. When you obtain that, you can use one of these lines here. When your big toe is to one side and the heel is to the other, what dimension would you have then obtained? What dimension would you have then obtained? With. Okay, now if you comfortably bring your knee down, your right knee down, boom, that knee should be in line with the back of the heel. So you now have a heel-knee relationship. What does it mean when I say heel-knee relationship? Okay, it means the forward foot. We always refer to the forward foot first. All right, stand up. So when I say toe-heel relationship, what does it tell you? Toe of the front foot, or lead leg to the heel of the rear foot. Okay? All right, let's have now a heel-knee relationship. Move. A heel-knee. Okay? What does that find? proper width, you found the proper depth, you comfortably bend your knees, what then becomes automatic? Height. Your height is automatic once you found the other two. Why is it important that we find the proper dimension? This is what we call proportional dimension. We're using the dimension that's proportional to our body size. Okay, the term again is what? Proportional dimension. This is a concept right here. All right, from this particular stance, all other stances stem. Okay? Period. Right? Why do we call it a neutral ball? In this case, a left neutral ball. Okay? Why is it a left neutral ball? The left leg is the lead leg. And as I explained yesterday, the only time we change the name of a stance is when neither or one of the foot is not on the ground at all. Okay? Like on a one-legged stance, whatever leg you're standing on, regardless of where your forward leg is, that's what it's called. Okay? All right. We're in a neutral ball. Right? All right, let's go to forward ball. Okay, definitely. Okay, fine. We need some work here. Boy, I'm glad we're doing the basics. Don't, don't get mad or going over this. Here's what I'm seeing. Okay. Again, when we're doing it, the one primary principle of concern that if I can interject and instill in you is the principle of point of origin. And point of origin, it again takes in all three dimensions. Now, see, this is what some people do. Just relax. Is that a point of origin? No. Is that a point of origin? Is that a point of origin? No. Point of origin is to move from now. Some people will do this. Is that a point of origin? No. See, because they're moving from point of origin of this, but this didn't move with it. It has to move. You know, it's the entire body. Now, what is your definition of focus? Anybody know?
Your body weight is traveling through with the road.
That means when you punch, you must focus punch. What do they say about it?
Concentrate on one area.
Okay, what else do they say? They say something else about the fist and the time. That you must relay all of your force and power to one spot. Okay? So that at the time your weapon meets its target, that the weapon and the target are totally in focus with each other. Okay? True or false? False. And I'll tell you why. A lorry loses its brake. Right? That's what you call a truck, right? Is that what you call a truck? Yeah. It loses its brake. It's coming down. It's going to hit a stone wall. Just before it hits the stone wall, the lorry sends all of its power and its weight and everything else and concentrates it on the front bumper. And it's the front bumper that's in focus with the wall. True or false? False. It's the entire truck that's in focus with the wall, not the bumper. And that's the same thing. Yes, eventually you will shoot, bam, this out. You understand me? This is going to, but at the end, at a certain point, this then locks with the body. It's the body weight that's in focus with the weapon in terms of the target. That's what focus is. The entire weight, right? Some of you guys watch Tyson fight. The minute I saw this kid fight, there's your world champion, if he can take a punch. Because when he hits, man, his whole body is in focus at the time of fight. That's his forte. You watch Hearns. You know, Hearns will go. You use rotational force and then punch. Instead of punching with the rotation, he hits after the rotation. And I try to tell his sparring partner that one day. And if he gets out of that, he can drop it. I mean, he's got power, even the way he's doing it, he can increase it twofold. But he's... All right, position. All right, so therefore, point of origin is important. And in the execution of a move, it's not, okay, all right, positions, forward. Now, when we say forward, what's the weight distribution?
16.
60 on what?
16% from right forward.
Okay. Neutral. Reverse. Okay, now even in the reverse, you don't even have to move this leg. Some of you are moving this leg like this. No. You don't move it when you do this. Why do you want to move it when you do this? You understand me? Now, if I'm looking this way, what is this? What is this? A left, reverse forward. If I look here, what is it? A right forward. So right forward going, a left reverse forward. All depends on where you look. Okay? Forward ball. Neutral. Don't go up and down. Reverse. Neutral. Forward. Neutral. Reverse. Move. Okay. Now, when we go into a forward ball, we now have our knee facing a specific direction. If we drop that knee, the right knee down, okay, what have we got? Close heel. So close heel stems out of a forward ball. Okay, go back to neutral ball. Okay, when you're in a neutral ball, where is that knee facing? On that angle. If you're to bend your knee in the same direction that it's now facing, go ahead and drop 50-50 weight. Now you have a what? A what?
Left.
Left, wide. Okay. All right? So a wide heel is no more than a neutral ball with the right knee facing the other way. Hi, how are you? Come in.
Thank you. I got some more people who travel day and night, so we came over to see you. Got some flight delays.
Okay. Neutral ball, reverse ball, forward ball, close heel, neutral ball, okay, wide heel, back up. As I explained the other day, if I had Gary up against a wall, and he had his left foot forward, okay, and instead of blocking, he just wanted to drop so that I go over him. He could drop into the knee, close or wide, and shoot a punch simultaneously. You understand me? So oftentimes, these stances that we do are not just to teach our students to keep coming back and learn more, but it's for purpose. And the purpose is for them to see how a drop in a stance, in and of itself, can be an asset. And during the course of that action, you can also shoot a punch, okay? So that's why some of these stances are, okay? Now, I also want you to see that when we're using these various stances that we're learning in terms of defense, the opposite of defense is offense. So we, in turn, can use this offensively. Gary, up front, please, face me, let's look forward. Like supposing now, I came in and what did I just go into? Now what did I do? Yeah, so I can walk the guy in by just going forward ball. In terms of that, I can be in with this. If I do a reverse ball, boom, that's the way. So eventually then, these same moves to be used offensively or as a setup to open up the guy. Position. All right, let's look forward. Forward ball, neutral ball, reverse ball, neutral ball, reverse ball, neutral ball. Okay, forward ball, close kneel, neutral ball, wide kneel, neutral ball, switch. Okay, what are the three ways of switching? There's more than three ways.
Back to front to back. Jumping.
Okay, what is it that we mean by front to back or back to front? Just as it says, back to front means you the back before you go to the front. If you take this the other way that most people, back to front, what did I say? Front to back. You understand me? Because you only move it back to the no. Back to front means come back before you go to the front. Front to back means come to the front before you drop to the back. Period. All right? So we're going to be working with some interesting things with switching tomorrow. I'll show you how, in this case, we're using switch it as a what? A defense. I want to show you how to use switches as an offense. Okay? Very interesting. Different perspective than yours. Okay? All right. Forward ball, neutral ball, reverse ball, neutral ball, wide kneel, neutral ball, forward ball, close kneel, neutral ball, reverse ball. That's it. Good. Back there. I think we're getting to look a lot better. If you understand what and why we're doing, not to go up and down during the course of our action, making sure we employ the one basic principle in this case of point of origin. Now there's a difference between point of origin and what? Point of reference. What is that difference?
Point of origin is where you begin, where you start your
Okay,
movement,
where what begins?
your initial motion. Whatever
What
that
motion?
begins.
The whole motion. All of your body. Okay, what else? What's the point of reference?
So the reference point which you go through between point of origin.
Okay, let me give you an example of point of reference. Now, some people say, we will tell you that it's a Japanese style. And when the elbow gets to where the twist was, then and then only must you turn. That's what they say. Okay? Now, anytime anybody tells you you must do a certain thing a certain way, and the word must is included, then the only must you must do is take the edges and get out. Because that's not true. Now, some will say, well, look, when the elbow gets to that, well, let's try it when the elbow gets biased back, turn or have the elbow go beyond that. And then that was used as a point of reference. Because in all three cases, what did I employ? Torque. What was the difference in its employment? The timing. The basic principle was torque. It's the timing of its use that we changed. You understand me? All right, now, you can understand that. That's all I want you to see. Okay, now, but I also mentioned something very important yesterday, that some of us have a tendency in the execution of our moves, okay, of turning and making sure that the turn is completed before we hit the target. That's not what I want. Okay? You should never torque to the target. You should torque through the target. If you do that, you'll find the increase of force is far superior than you ever hope to realize. Okay? And you'll see the difference right now. Are we doing this to carry? See? Of going through it. Okay? All right. So now, we have the idea of that. Okay? During the course of the drop, what did we do? Start another principle, which is gravitational matters. Okay? Now, a little while ago, when I used the reverse bow as a setup, what did I do? I moved this foot, and I slipped it deeper. You understand? So was there a slight marriage to gravity? Yeah, but what else did I obtain other than marriage to gravity? Depth. See, I almost went 1 foot length of depth. You understand me? Okay, so I have two factors there. Depth and gravitational matter. See, that was drawing the language. Okay, now, okay, as I explained, to some of you who will go it right now, there are three basic ways of obtaining body momentum. What are they? Yeah, if I shuffle forward and have my body movement, now in body momentum through the shuffle, but utilizing the dimensional depth. Correct? All right. When Gary comes in, trying to tackle me or whatever, I hit him off to the side. He drops.